A Subaru Wrx or STI is an unlikely car that you would expect to pop up on the big screen, as they don't bring the glam and prestige the same way that expensive supercars do. But interestingly enough, they find their way into the spotlight, intentionally and also unintentionally. And in this video, we'll be going through my top 10 Subaru Wrx and STI appearances in movies and TV shows. Before we get into it, I'm Sep, a car enthusiast making videos for car enthusiasts like yourselves, so feel free to subscribe to get your weekly dose of YouTube car content. Now, there are a lot of appearances of Wrx's as background vehicles, but I'll go through the ones that I find the most interesting or are modified. Number 10, Yellowstone. I'm actually watching this show right now, and I came across a Wrx in one of the episodes. As a high-level explanation, Yellowstone is about family drama at the Dutton Ranch, owned by John Dutton, who is played by Kevin Costner. And his family has beef, pun intended, with the bordering Broken Rock Native Reservation and new building developers. Now, where does a Wrx fit into the plot? It doesn't. On season 1 episode 6, there is this Wrx parked along the road during a scene when the Dutton Ranch Dodge Ram drives by. As we can see, this Wrx has sort of this blacked out theme with heavy tint and TE37 looking wheels, which from the photo we can't really tell if they're actually legit or just reps. Besides the Dark Knight wannabe vibes, it has aftermarket headlights and maybe could use a little help on the stance. The wheels look like they poke out a little too much, but I can't really judge, my car is stock AF. Also, another thing that I noticed in the shot is the 6th gen Subi Legacy lurking right behind the Wrx. Number 9, Law and Order Organized Crime. This show is a spin-off of the popular series Law and Order and Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Now, I've never watched this show, but I know the main plot is about detectives solving crimes, and also that this sound effect comes from the Law and Order franchise. During a hooligan meetup in season 3 episode 10, one of the so-called street gang members owns this car. It's a Wrx or debadged STI, painted or wrapped yellow with this black and yellow theme. I'm guessing this car wasn't entirely modified by the production team just because of the big wing that has a size matters sticker. Now, I don't know if they caught that sticker or even knew about it, but I think it's funny that they kept it in the scene. Looking closer at the modifications, for even extra aerodynamic performance, you can see that there is a roof spoiler, color matched to the yellow paint. And the rain guard is also color matched, which is something I have never seen before. Now, moving to the lighting mods, the aftermarket taillights go along nicely with the F1 brake light, and adjacent to the brake light we can see an intimidating tow hook that lets you know that a bad guy drives this car. Now, the last couple mods that I can see are an emblem overlay and a sticker on the rear window of a mask of some sort. Maybe that's the logo of this street posse. Nice that they're easily identifiable by the police. Number 8, Dawn of the Dead. This movie is one of my most favorite zombie movies of all time. And I won't go into all the details of the movie, but all zombie movies have the basic recipe of surviving zombies and surviving the people you end up with. Near the start of the film, right after the scene where one of the main characters, Anna, is conserving water with her husband in the shower, the camera cuts to the TV where a blob-eyed Wrx Subaru commercial is playing, which is then abruptly interrupted by a breaking news alert which alludes to the zombie outbreak starting. This commercial is a real one, so I wonder if Subaru had some sort of sponsorship deal with Universal, but nice little cameo of the Wrx regardless. Number 7, Born to Race. This movie is a less known, less mainstream film, where the main character, Danny, drag races a blob-eyed generation Wrx STI. On the outside, we can see the Aspen White STI has some red decals on the hood and along the sides. The roof is wrapped or painted black, giving a sleek look to the car, and part manufacturer stickers are placed on the front doors, just so anyone pulling up to the drag race knows that this STI is not stock. The wheels appear to be NK NT03s, which is a really good performance wheel. I'm glad they didn't just throw reps on there. Now, I couldn't find any good photos of what's under the hood, but apparently in the movie, it is mentioned that the turbo is upgraded and that the engine is fitted with a 200 shot nitrous system. So it's a nice Subi, and I'm glad it gets a lot of screen time despite being a less popular flick. Number 6, The Office. The Office is one show I personally have watched through at least twice. It's truly a gem of a TV show with comedic genius you can't replicate nowadays. Now, Jim, or John Krasinski, drives a Subaru Aero 92X, which is technically a WRX wagon in disguise. Now, this car is not modified by any means, but it's so damn clean. This photo is from the episode called Dinner Party, and it's probably in my top 3 episodes to watch of this show. I highly recommend it. A fun fact also is that Jim eventually drives a Subaru Outback once he has his first child, Cece, with Pam, aka Jenna Fisher, which shows his loyalty to the brand. Number 5, Initial D. Initial D originally started off as a manga and then became an anime hit for car enthusiasts all around the world. It tells the story of Takumi, who is a young tofu delivery driver who becomes a drift king in his 8.6. He doesn't drive a Subaru, it's his dad, Bunta Fujiwara. He drives a version 5 Impreza WRX STI Coupe Type R. I love the look of the Coupe GC8. I don't really know what modifications are done to it on the show, but from a quick glance, it looks stock except for the WRC or 22B style front bumper. Number 4, Fast and Furious. I won't go through the main Subarus that most car enthusiasts know about, like the STI hatch and the VA STI, just because those have got plenty of attention already. Let's focus on the less popular Subaru on the big screen. So in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, when Bow Wow, or in the movie his name is Twinkie, pulls up to the parking garage and the iconic song comes on. Anyways, the camera cuts to this car, and we can see a lot of things here, but let's just mainly focus on the Subaru, guys. It is a Blob-Eye Generation World Rally Blue WRX or STI, and based on the engine bay view, the top mount intercooler is no longer there, so the piping there, that blue piping, is for a front mount intercooler conversion. Other things we can see is the alternator cover, which is a nice touch. The stock front tower bar has been replaced with an aftermarket one, which is cool. And based on the grille, the small portion of the grille we can see is that it's not the OEM one, so it's probably a aftermarket front bumper. But yeah, I wanted to focus on this Subi because it was a obviously less popular. It only had such a short scene. Also, later in the shot, this fine gentleman and his significant other end up kissing all over this WRX or STI. They're quite literally leading into it. Now, no matter how beautiful you are, I am not damaging the paint on my Subi. I am sorry. Moving on, number 3, Kingsman: The Secret Service. Kingsman is a spy action comedy film where Eggsy, the main character, ends up stealing a yellow Hawkeye WRX and does some donuts with it and even leads a police chase in reverse. Now, the cool thing about this car is that even though in the scene it looks like it's driving in reverse, the whole shell was actually cut apart and rotated so that the trunk had the engine in it and the front seat and the steering wheel faced to the rear. I think it's awesome that the producers went through all that hassle to achieve the stunt effects for that scene. That's why I believe this car deserves number 3 in my top 10. Number 2, Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz is an action comedy where a top performing police officer named Nicholas Angel, played by Simon Pegg, is transferred to a small village. This village has some deep dark secrets about it that he uncovers and ends up dealing with. At the end of the film, once all the real drama is squashed, he responds to a petty theft call in a Blob-Eye WRX modified to look like a police vehicle. He does this whole thing where he rips the e-brake and does a buttery J-turn drift. Some real rally car moves right there, which I believe deserves number 2. Number 1, Baby Driver. This movie features a 2006 Hawkeye Generation WRX. Now, the reason why I chose this movie appearance to be number 1 is that I love the opening scene where they use the WRX in a chase sequence for a bank heist. This scene gave me that Gymkhana type of stunt coordination. Also, I think it's great that the director decided to use a WRX out of all the cars he could have chosen. Even in the premiere, they featured a red WRX. They had multiple WRXs for this movie. One was converted to rear-wheel drive for the drifting scene, one had more power put into it, and there was at least one gutted shell for static shots. On the outside, there's very minimal changes. Only some cheap ICW wheels and what appears to be some sort of aftermarket exhaust. Now, in making this video that you guys are watching now, I was really wondering why the WRX for this movie specifically. So I did some digging. The director of Baby Driver is Edgar Wright, who also directed Hot Fuzz. So it's clear he is somewhat of a Subaru enthusiast for having two of his films feature a WRX. Now, I did say that this was my top 10 WRX and STI countdown, but I want to include one bonus appearance. Twisted Metal is a TV series that premiered in 2023 and is based on the PlayStation game Twisted Metal. Now, Anthony Mackie plays the main character John Doe, and John drives a Mad Max looking WRX in the post-apocalyptic wasteland the show is set in. Starting its life as a 2002 Bug-Eye WRX, this car got some proper modifications to deal with the dangers John had to deal with on his journey. It's painted bright orange, a color that closely resembles the solar orange pearl the new WRX is available in. The large wheel arches surround a gold set of NKTS 10s, a nice choice for a rugged rally battle sedan look. The front fenders are fitted with some type of cannon or gun, and honestly, I don't blame John. Some days when I'm driving, I wish that these were on my car. The hood appears to be some sort of carbon fiber type with the hood scoop deleted. Now, to the very front, we see a bull bar type of thing. That looks pretty mean. It's like the Bug-Eye now has a pissed off underbite. The rear of the car reveals a fart cannon and the STI wing, both well suited for what this car is for. I did some reading, and the reason why the WRX was chosen was because it could perform the type of driving the show creators wanted, which looks like it's mostly on loose surfaces, which the WRX is fantastic for. Anyways, YouTube, that concludes my top 10 plus 1 Subaru WRX and STI appearances in movies and TV shows. Let me know down in the comments which one of these appearances did you guys enjoy seeing the most. And if there's one that I didn't mention in the video, please share down in the comments. I'd like to know some Easter egg ones that I personally have missed. Anyways, friends, that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.